Hello, how is everybody today?
It's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday again.
It is.
It does feel like you said something. It's always Tuesday.
It's always Tuesday.
It does always feel like Tuesday.
Yep.
But that's a good thing because this is fun.
Yes, it is.
It
Who'd have
is.
thought, right? A year ago,
I would have never enjoyed
this. It's fun.
Mm-mm.
We were
I was like, oh God, we have to do what?
Right? I know. Remember how nervous we were for Love Notes?
Incredibly.
We were like, oh God, how is this going to work? And it's just been fine. Everybody's been great. So, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody even likes us every now and then.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
Hey.
Hi, Shirley.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
So, what'd you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? That's a really good. Nothing obviously that I remember.
I didn't really sew.
I didn't.
I
sew.
organized.
I did cut some fabric.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I didn't even do that.
I did. I folded some more on common cord. I just have a little bit. Just can't quite get to the finishing line there. So close. Now you're starting. I made some reservations. So
yes, those are good ones. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter's still here, so we played a little bit when they got home. Very little bit because I was alone all weekend. So I watched some TV and I crocheted a little bit. I didn't go upstairs and sew because the dogs get mad at me when I leave them alone downstairs. But
yes.
Yeah, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I organized. I went shopping. That was fun. I like to shop.
Yeah.
Of course.
Retail therapy.
It's always frustrating when you go somewhere and they don't have what you need. And then you're like, okay, now where am I going to go to find it? So,
yeah. Judy said that we've brought sanity to the past year.
We brought sanity? I find that very entertaining. I'm so glad we could help you with that.
Anybody's ever said to us.
Wow.
Usually people say we're crazy.
Uh-huh. A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Yeah. It's definitely been shopping is hard lately. And I get it. Like,
and you just never know if somebody's going to have what you need or not.
No. And it's the weirdest things are out, you know, it really is just the strangest thing. You go to the store and you're like, you're out of like crackers or, I mean, something really ridiculous. And it's just been a crazy.
Yep. I went to Sam's Club to buy a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was there, I thought, well, I'm going to get some strawberries and I'm going to get some cornbread mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I got strawberries. The gift wasn't there. The cornbread wasn't there. I was just like, okay. I bought bananas and I bought strawberries. I left Sam's Club for less than $10. I don't think I've ever done that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever left there for, even less than $20. I mean, that's just like unheard of. Some days I feel like they don't even have anything less than $20 there.
Right.
But
I went, so I stopped at Meijer on my way home on Saturday because I bolted out a little bit earlier. And, because we're planning our Disney trip.
Yes, you ditched me on Saturday. Yes, you did.
They're doing paper straws everywhere, right? So now there's like disposable silicone straws that come in these little tin cans.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought a couple of those, and then as I was walking out, I got stuck at the little 4th of July section.
Mm-hmm.
They had these really cute salt and pepper shakers they were like the old Tupperware ones with the closed tops on there. I was like, oh, I should get those for the camper. So I kept getting sucked in on my way to the checkout. So
it's a rabbit hole.
It is a rabbit hole.
It's always a rabbit hole.
What did I go? I went in for a shaker bottle and that was it. And $30 later, I did remember to get the shaker bottle.
But I at least did get the strawberries I wanted. Sorry you didn't get any, Lisa. They have the best strawberries though. You can't get strawberries.
Fresh strawberries? Yeah.
You can't get strawberries like Sam's Club strawberries anywhere else.
Yeah. We buy they're big bags of the frozen strawberries.
I have some of those from somewhere.
Whole frozen. Mm-hmm. They're really good. Dave likes to put them in
smoothies. Yep, yeah. I have frozen strawberries. Actually, a lot of times I will buy multiple packages from Sam's Club, cut them up, and then freeze them and make those for smoothies and things. But this time I cut them up and I made strawberry dip out of Cool Whip and strawberry pie glaze, and had it ready for Samantha when she came in the door. She was like, "Oh,
how fun!"
You gotta make those special things every now and then for the kids, you know.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yep.
Oh my goodness, South Dakota. Well, hello.
Yeah, lots of you are joining us now. All right, so we're gonna get right into talking about today's topic. So today's topic is needle threaders. And so it doesn't really matter what brand of machine you're sewing on. needle threaders are that you either get it or you struggle with it. And as Lisa called somebody earlier, a repeat offender. I love that.
Did I say that?
You did.
I did not.
But you know, some people, they know who they are. Like
you do. So
you're
either
trying so hard, right? And everything you do, and for some reason, you and the needle threader just
can't be
not,
friends.
you can't bond with it. So we've got some really good tips for you.
Hopefully we will help you become friends with your threader.
That's right.
Today.
So you don't have to be a repeat offender. I just thought that was hysterical. That's a good word for it, though. I know, like, when I'm the one who like continuously is having trouble with something, that's exactly how I feel. I'm like, I feel terrible being like, I broke it again.
I call on this. I did it again.
Yeah.
Why can't I get this right?
What is wrong?
Why can I not get this?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you know, these are called in general a never miss needle threader, and they really are. But for some reason, there's a few people out there that just can't get them to work. They work 5 times and then they don't work anymore.
Right.
Or, you know, maybe it's 10 times, maybe it's 20 times, but you bring it in, we put a new one on, you go home, everything's peachy. And then 2 weeks later you call us and you go, my needle threader's not working anymore.
I don't know.
And I don't know what I did.
And I feel terrible.
You know, and
we go through it again.
We do it all and we push the button and it works fine here 20 million times. You go home and it won't work for you.
Right.
So hopefully we're going to talk about some things that will negate that problem for you.
Yes.
Hopefully. So if it makes you feel any better, you would think that we would never have that problem, right? Because we work here, so we teach you guys how to do it. So we wouldn't have a problem with our needle threader ever, right? Guess what? I actually had that problem, and I got the right needle. I've got everything, and I'm like, why is this not working? And I'm absolutely stumped because I know I've got everything right because
I teach people how to do this.
Right? I got it all right. There's no way I've done something wrong. And so I came to work the next day. I'm like, all right, Tony, what the heck? I've got a luminaire at home and it's not threading anymore. It just quit. And he looked and he's like, well, And I'm like, oh, and by the way, my needle's not moving real smooth either. So turns out one of the things, and it's something that we don't actually ask all of the time,
right,
is how are you putting in and out the needle? So do you hand tighten that screw, or are you a crank it down with a screwdriver, quarter, nickel, whatever it is that you keep in the drawer? So I was a crank down person. I always had my screwdriver and I would finger tighten, and then I would crank it down with a screwdriver because
you don't want your needle to fall out.
That's what I was taught.
Right.
Somebody told me to do that somewhere along the line. So that's what I had always been doing. And what I was actually doing is moving that screw, and it was taking my needle and just pushing it just a little bit out of the way so that when that needle wire came down, it wasn't lining up in the right spot.
Right.
So I was doing everything else right, but I was cranking down on that screw just a little bit too hard, and that was it. So that is one thing that a lot of people don't actually know.
Right.
And a lot of us won't even ask because
right.
Some of us didn't even know for years and years.
Explain to them why that happens, because you've got basically a small little hole.
Yep.
And then you have a screw that's coming in from the side.
Yep.
And when you tighten that down, so if you push hard enough, you can sort of tip the needle. So you can sort of change.
So you kind of explained that.
That's right. So
you're like, explain that.
And so, and the reason you were having trouble with your needle coming in and out is because after doing that so long, it can just sometimes affect like the hole in there.
It did. They actually, so I would literally had to get a pair of tweezers.
Yeah.
Not tweezers. Pliers. That's the word I was looking for. Words are so difficult some days. So you find that Tuesdays especially. And I literally had to tug to get my needle to come out of it. And that's what triggered him knowing what it was that I had done, was that needle didn't come out real easily either. So he was like, yep. Bring me your machine. I can make that better.
Right.
So there's little things that we can actually do that screw up the system that aren't part of the normal threader system. And so that's one thing that unfortunately we can do to screw things up. So
there's a balance between
tight and too tight
and loose too.
Yes.
So a lot of times, like, I don't think I can get it tight enough with just my fingers.
So some of us have really strong hands and some of us don't. So I don't mean to say it is. So I don't mean to say that if you don't have really strong hands, you should just leave it loose, because the last thing any of us want is to have that needle fall out in the middle of a project, because that's going to cause a whole nother issue of, whole nother set of problems. Right. We don't want those problems and issues to have.
Right.
So if you don't have really strong hands and you don't feel like you're getting that screw tight enough with your hand, tighten it as much as you can, and then take a screwdriver and do a turn.
Right. You'll feel like
you'll know it's tight, but don't then keep cranking.
That's right. It doesn't have to.
It's not the extra, where you have to tug to unloosen it.
Right.
That's too far.
And because we shouldn't be cranking down our needles, we need to be checking to make sure that needle is in more often than not, because it's 2 times last week I had people come in that
a loose needle.
The needle fell out, and once they cleaned everything back in, they had issues. And what had happened when the needle fell out is the needle moved into a position and it actually punctured their bobbin case. And so it was making a weird chattering noise.
Yeah, you get this.
And that's the thread catching on the bobbin case.
We have weird sounds, don't we?
We do.
Yes.
So you got to find the happy medium between getting the needle in too tight and And
so there is a happy medium. Again, I do not recommend that you leave it loose.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying at all. So, tighten it as much as you can with your hands. If you don't have super strong hands and you don't feel like that's tight enough, by all means, get a screwdriver, but don't crank it. Just give it an extra turn to make sure that it's secure, but you're not bending everything inside of it and sending everything out of whack.
And get in the habit of checking to make sure that you are...
that it's not wibbling.
That's right.
Wobbling.
Wibbling. I like that.
Wiggle. It's a wiggle and a wobble.
And
it's a wibble. It's new word. It's new word Tuesday. I'm gonna make them up as I go.
Oh, that was great. Maybe we'll end up in the Webster's
Webster's dictionary of new words. It's a wibble.
It's a wibble.
That is a wiggle and a wobble meshed together.
I like that wibble.
I kind of like it.
It's cute.
We might have to continue that word.
We should embroider that wibble.
I wibble, 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 wibble. Yeah. We can wrap it too. Okay. Next thing. Okay. So that is like a total not normal thing that we would tell you over the phone.
Right.
It's probably not going to be the first question we ask you if you say my needle threader's not working.
Right.
So that's just kind of like
But if you are one of those people who
are repeat offenders, that might be the first question you should be asking yourself.
That's right. Double check to see how you're doing that.
Because we've probably already asked you all the things what we're going to tell you right now.
That's right.
Okay, so
most common things.
The most common things now. We're gonna let's start back at the beginning.
Let's start with the size of the needle.
Yes. So
this is not a baby lock or a brother thing. This is a
big
world. This is a big
thing.
Everybody who has a needle threader.
You betcha.
The needle threader hooks are small, but they're not tiny. And so we have to make sure that that can get through the eye of the needle, because that's how all needle threaders work. At some point, whether they pull from the back or they push from the front, there is basically like a little
wire.
fish hook.
And it just goes whoop, and it pushes it through.
Yes.
Wherever it's pushing from but it's got to fit through the eye of the needle.
That's right. So
that's the game we're playing.
Right? Yeah. So if you're using our brand, we're pushing. And if you're using like the lower end model machines or somebody else's, you might be pulling from the back. But it's basically a hook going through the eye.
One direction or the other.
And so what is the best size needle for that?
I have no idea.
The pressure.
So the most standard thing, like it's a 75/11 if you're in an embroidery, or an 80/12 if you're in a standard. So 75 is the smallest, but there's a few out there that 75 aren't going to work. So embroidery wise, 75 is the smallest. Standard, everything else is an 80. So if you have a 70, if you want to use a 70, great. Your machine's going to be able to sew with it. You cannot use your needle threader. Doesn't mean you can't sew with it. Right? Sound effects are free, guys. It's all in there. All right. You can use it. You just have to do the squint and poke method to thread that. You cannot use your needle threader. So make sure. Okay. So I like squint and poke. Squint and poke works for me.
It's better
Anyway.
than lick and stick. Yeah. That's what they do, right? No, they lick the end of the thread and then they poke it through.
That's not sticking.
Sticking it through the hole?
Never mind. Don't mind us.
That's right.
Anyway.
Wibble.
Wibble.
Just go back to wibble.
We're going to wibble it through. All right. So 70-10s, those 68, all of those, you can still sew with them. You cannot use any form of a needle threader with those. They're just not going to work. So
that will make you cry.
It will, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to bend that little wire, and then it won't work even for the correct needle size. So that's what we find happens is you've passed that point of no return when you try to use it on a needle that's too small. And then you call us and you say, I've got the right size needle. And here we go, okay, great. What did you use before? Did it work?
Yep.
I just changed it. Well, what did you have the last time? And yep, lo and behold, it was too small. So by all means, please feel free to still sew with those when you have those real nice thin fabrics and things that you need that specialty needle for. By all means, still use that great needle. Just make sure that you are using your tweezers or whatever lick and stick or whatever it is that you use to get that there to make sure that that works. So you do not want anything smaller than a 75-11 embroidery or a 80-12 universal Microtex, all of those standard size needles.
So 75 is the absolute smallest.
Now, this is about the time somebody usually says, well, what about top stitch?
Yes.
Top stitch eyes are larger by nature. That's the whole point of a top stitch needle, is that you can use a more decorative thread that are heavier and that kind of thing. So by all means, you can get a little bit more playroom in there, but
I wouldn't trust it.
No.
Not 80.
Just 80.
75.
Play it safe.
80.
And you know what? Yeah. Stick with that 75, 80 number and you will be good.
And anything higher. So 100.
Yep. Hundreds, all of those you're good with.
That's right.
So just make sure it's 75 to 80 and bigger and you're going to be good.
Yes.
So size of the needle, number one. So size matters, guys. We always keep telling you this, and sewing size matters.
That's right.
And it really does when we're talking about that needle threader.
So 75, 80, 90, 100. Anything that is bigger than a 75 will work. And if it is smaller than a 75, so the 70s.
Now, what about a 75 quilting?
I have had no issues with 75 quilting.
I don't usually use quilting needles.
Yes, I haven't had any issues whatsoever. And I have
75
used,
or bigger.
I have used some of the dime 75 needles, which are in varying types.
They have some different.
And those
eyeballs.
75s have been perfect. So, I haven't had any issues.
75s and 80s and bigger. Everything bigger. Okay, so isn't it good to use a 90 universal? You can.
That says it isn't good.
Really?
Yep.
It isn't good. You can use a 90. That's bigger. Yes, I don't have my glasses on, and that's really tiny on there. Sorry. I'm trying. I'm sorry. So 90 is larger.
Yep.
So that is fine. You can use a 90 with your needle threader.
So needles, the bigger the number, the bigger the hole. Thread, the bigger the number, the smaller. So it's exactly the opposite.
Because we had to be confusing. So if there's any dudes watching, so sorry, we are 100% sure a dude came up with those two processes there.
Like in
1900 somewhere back there, they came up with that weird system.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So needle threaders, 75, 80, 90, 100, great. 70, 60, bad. So making sure that the eye of your needle is appropriate size is one very important thing.
Number one.
Number two is making sure that you have it all the way up.
Yes. So what does that actually mean? Before we move on, do you want to read those?
There was some talk about how to get the thread in.
Okay.
Instead of licking the thread, lick your finger and place it behind the eye of the needle. The moisture from your finger pulls it through. Yes. Yeah.
It'll grab hold of it a little bit easier.
That's right.
I use tweezers, so that's my thing.
Yeah.
I have terrible skin. It's just bad. So I use tweezers, and I generally don't with my glasses on.
That's
and
right.
I don't generally have any.
But we're talking about needle threaders.
But we're talking about
we're
threaders,
really
not
talking about
how to thread the needle on your own. But that was just squint and poke, lick and stick.
Yeah.
It just sounded funny. So we had to laugh about it. But thank you for those tips.
Yes.
Say that again.
I'm not sure what she was asking.
Yeah. You say it again slower. Okay. So last time, the first thing is the size of the needle needs to be a 75 or an 80 or larger. Yes. Larger means bigger number when it comes to the size of the eye of the needle. Yes. So 75, 80, 90, 100, 110, anything up in there, those can work with the needle threader. Okay. So this is good with embroidery. This is good with sewing. Any of those things we're talking about to use that needle threader.
Yes. So the number corresponds with the size of the hole. When it gets bigger, the hole gets bigger. We said thread is opposite. So if you don't compare that to the thread. It's got to be opposite. So wire. What's that? Wire.
It's like wire.
Thread is like wire. Yes. The again,
dude.
Yeah.
All I gotta say.
All right.
What does
so
say?
The needle bigger number, bigger hole. What was the thread? I just answered that. Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So we have to have the appropriate needle. Yep. We have to make sure that we don't put the needle in too tight.
Not too tight, but we need to make sure that it's in the right position. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple different things that means.
Yes.
First of all, when you're actually putting the needle inside the shaft that it sits inside that we're actually screwing it into.
Right.
There's a little bar at the top that the needle actually goes, and it should be hitting at the top of that.
Right.
On the Baby Lock Brother machines, when you're threading, there's a little number 6 that's actually embossed right into the machine. Mm-hmm. And the bar that you're hitting is right above that number 6. And it's literally like a metal knot that needle is going to go right up and it's going to hit that. Mm-hmm. If you're not hitting that, that means that the eye of your needle is sitting too low. And when that wire comes around, it's going to miss because the needle's not high enough. It's going to hit the shank of the needle instead of the eye of the needle. So the position of that needle is super important. Mm-hmm. So making sure that you've got it all the way up. So you need to actually not hear maybe, but feel it hit or see it hit that top little knot in there, so that it's all the way there before you tighten it into place.
That's right. And we're lucky because we get to see that, but not every machine is like that.
Not every machine has that.
So sometimes I've seen people not necessarily unscrew their screw far enough that they can get the needle up. And so again, when they go to tighten it back up,
it's hard to get that in there.
It isn't all the way up. Yep. So definitely pay attention to make sure that you've got it all the way up, because if it's not all the way up, just like if we tighten the screw too much, then that hole,
it's going to shift that needle.
That's right.
And it's not going to be in the correct position.
Because the needle threader itself, while it does look like it moves a lot, it really only comes down and swings in like the same spot.
Yep.
So that has to be there. And then this one we don't talk about a lot. If you have certain feet on, like if you have a walking foot on, any of your walking feet, do not use your needle threader with, because
it's going to be in the way.
It's in the way. That's right. The way that it actually goes on your needle bar, it's definitely going to affect
there are
them.
Some other miscellaneous feet that might be in the way. So sometimes it's easier and it's not in the way if you put the foot down. Mm-hmm. So you of course want to thread your machine with the foot up, so that your tensions are open. But once you actually go to either flip the lever or push the button, sometimes it's easier to put the foot down so that it's got clearance.
Yes.
So depends sometimes on what you have attached to the machine, what is going to be better for you to actually use that threader. So there's, it matters what you have on the machine as well. So if we're talking just the standard zigzag straight foot, of course, just hit the button, flip the lever, you're all good to go.
Absolutely.
As long as your needle is in the right position.
That's right. And now let's talk about getting our needle in the right position. So
we got a couple options.
That's right.
Depending on your machine.
And so the thing that happens, so I'm going to move, let's go to this screen here. Let's go to this one here.
And swap.
And swap. And swap.
And swap.
That's right.
And
all right.
Swap again.
So we have some buttons here. This position here puts the needle up or down. But the one thing that I find that people do, like if you move your hand wheel when you're threading your machine, the place that puts your take up lever all the way at the top, the highest point, is not actually the needle's highest point.
Right.
And so people thread their machine and they turn that hand wheel to get into the take-up lever. And then they just assume, because the take-up lever is all the way up at the top.
They assume the needle is as well.
They assume the needle is all the way up, but it's not. And so I don't know if you can see at all down here, but that needle is actually below the foot right now. So if I were on this machine, it wouldn't matter because it's really smart and it puts it where it needs to be. But on normal machines.
So this one has an electronic lift. So when it has that electronic lift versus the lever over on the side, it will automatically place the foot in the needle.
Yes.
In the position that it's best for the machine to thread that needle.
That's right.
If you don't have that electric movement, you need to put the machine at the correct position for it to hit in the correct spot.
That's right. So at this point, because we have this machine, if I touch this button, the foot,
you'll see it, that needle moved, which is actually kind of cool.
So it just goes in and it does its thing, because this is an electronic, really smart machine.
Right.
If I didn't have the electronic, really smart machine, a lot of us have this button.
Yep. And that is the needle up, needle down button. And it does exactly that. So when we push it, the needle goes down. When we push it a second time, it goes up and it goes to its highest position, which is the correct position to thread with the needle threader. So if you aren't sure if you're in the correct position and you have that button available to you, you push it twice and boom, you're in the right position.
That's right.
If you're still not sure, there is a little mark on your brother and baby lock machines on the hand wheel. If long as you have an electronic, it is not on those entry-level mechanical machines. There is a little notch, if you will, that is a raised area on the hand wheel that needs to be at the top center position. It's kind of lined up with the split of the machine. And that is also going to, as long as you haven't popped the hand wheel off and decided to put it wherever you feel like putting it,
right?
It will also line up center of the machine. And I find I rub my thumb and I'm like, yep, I'm good. Whenever I'm at a machine that doesn't have that electric, I just rub my thumb over there and I know that I'm in the right position before I flip the lever to do the needle threading.
But that needle up, needle down, it's not a brand specific thing. It's just everybody. If you have that button, and so many machines have that button these days.
They sure do.
But that second tap, the one that raises it up, that puts your needle position in the position that a machine would need. And that doesn't matter if it is an electronic, if it's got the slider, if you're using the older ones where you have the little bar that comes across and you like do your church praying to see if it will actually
to see if everything goes where it's supposed to go.
Cross your teeth. But that's exactly what it does, is that needle puts you in exactly the right position. And if you are lucky enough to have that raised notch on your hand control, then you can definitely pay attention
it's funny.
to that.
I don't even realize I do it anymore. It's just like, oh, yep, I'm good. And I laugh at myself sometimes. I'm like, why did you do that? You already pushed the button. But
just reinforcing.
You just get used to, you do things. We have muscle memory, whatnots, and you get used to it. So one more time, a real quick, it is on these machines, this little guy right here, it looks like a needle with a bar going through it. And that will, if you look at the needle, it will lower it and then it raises it. When it raises that back up, you are at the correct position to use your needle threader.
And you would want to use that button when you get down here towards the needle before you put the thread in the threading guide here. Without that, if you
get this big loop of thread and then it's not in the thread is not in the right position and it doesn't generally work. Either that or you have to put it through the threader.
Re-put it through the threader. That's a good word. Yeah.
Re-put it through.
Wibble.
Wibble, 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 wibble.
All right. So hopefully that takes out some of the questions that you might have on your needle threader, and that might clear up, and maybe that will help some of you repeat offenders. We don't mean that in a bad way. We're just sometimes we just got to make fun of ourselves. And
like I said,
we have been repeat offenders.
I mean, like I said, I have absolutely no reason to have had a problem. I called Cayman. I'm like, all right, Tony, I did everything right. Yeah. What did I do? So I mean,
and that's not
that's not a traditional
well, and
thing.
that's not exclusive to this brand of machine.
Not at all.
I had similar experiences with other machines because it happens. The other brand of machine that the screw had a very sharp point at the top, and the more you cranked down on the screw,
it would pivot around,
and then it would also get a flat spot on the screw, and then it would no matter how much, it would just start to fall out. So it was really not designed to crank in. They probably never were any brand really. I mean, the metals are not super strong on screws, but we've all experienced a needle coming out, and then we get more nervous about it, so we crank down.
I was surprised to have the needle not come out.
Right.
that was a new experience, but it is certainly a joy when you have a machine that has these lovely needle threaders. Mm-hmm. So it's certainly frustrating, and it's something that we've all run into of why isn't this working? So I hope that this has helped in some ways for you guys to self-diagnose what's going on at home and give you some, okay, they said I could do this, and maybe figure out some of what's going on right there at home and fix that. So again, as a reminder, there is a point of no return. If you have had, 4 misses, you've probably bent the wire past the point where even after you've fixed the problem, it's probably bent and not going to continue to work.
The only fix is a replacement.
Is to come see Tony.
Yes.
And beg. So, those are certainly phone calls that we get on a pretty regular basis, which is why we thought this would be a really great topic to go cover and go over, because it is certainly a very regular phone call that we get here. So hopefully that helped, and we will maybe get a couple less phone calls.
Well, and maybe
not that we mind the phone calls,
maybe it will be a little less frustrating for you, because
which is always the goal.
If you kind of know now maybe what the problem was, then you can try to not repeat it.
So, and if, I think probably the biggest offenders, people don't use the smaller needle with the needle threader. Yeah. And once they've learned that, they have much less problems. Mm-hmm.
And we talk about that when we do like the machine delivery, and we give you that information, but we
kind of also overload you with so much when you first take home that machine that it doesn't always sink in. And then when we tell you, you go, you did tell me that.
You might have said that, or maybe you don't remember. And that, again, that's sometimes why we try to keep the lessons to
littler bits of things,
because we can only all retain so much information. I know it's getting harder and harder. I wish I could tell my brain which information to retain.
Delete this file, keep this one.
I don't need this one anymore.
Let's get rid of that one. And yep. Store this, that, and the other thing.
Exactly.
Delete, wibble, wibble, wibble.
That would be great.
Whatever that is. So.
All right. So
I don't see. Quick question. Oh, yes.
So you heard correct. They are re-releasing We Whisk You a Merry Christmas, and they are re-releasing Jingle All the Way. So
it's really the fabrics is really the big.
They're doing a
re-release. So we have actually already
ordered
the fabrics. So Jean doesn't watch this.
Yeah.
Never mind.
We're not sure where we're going to put it, but
not really sure where that's going to go right now. But we did order the fabrics. So as soon as they get here, we will be able to produce kits for both of those again. So I don't remember the date on that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. But we will absolutely be able to hook you up with those.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little while away.
It is a little bit away.
We have also ordered the Kimberbell salads. They're coming. I think maybe at the end of this month or next month. So end of May.
I think it was June.
June,
like beginning of June, I think. But anyway, we do. They're called silky solids, so hopefully they feel really nice. And it's nice to have solids. We don't have any solids here,
so this will be our first solids.
This will be our first true solids, and
Yep, and then we have in the summer we have the candy corn
quilt shop, which again everything is already been ordered. If you would like to pre-order, we are still taking those on our website, and you can either do just the $20 deposit to hold your kit, or you can pay the full thing. all pre-orders will get free quilt designs to do pre-quilting for each individual square if you would like to do it that way. And those will only be available for the pre-quilting if you pre-orders.
Yes.
So
yep.
Get
Design
your
ready.
order in today.
I'm working on them right now.
So
all right. So I'm gonna go down. So what about the archived home for the holidays? No.
Haven't seen anything on that.
There is a new curated Christmas embroidery.
There is a new CD that's coming out, and they've been talking about the whole archive thing, but they haven't given us any real details on that. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think Kimberbell is doing something like opening their vault.
I think that's what they're talking about, is opening the vault. But they haven't given the details out as to what they're
and I don't believe it's going to be for us. I believe it's going to be something that you order directly
from on their My Kimberbell site would be the Stab in the Dark, but again, we haven't seen any real details on that, unfortunately.
Unless Lisa wants to know what kits. The kits we were talking about are she was asking if we were going to put more kits for We Whisk You a Merry Christmas.
We Whisk You a Merry Christmas is I think it's a 45. It's either a 40 by 40 or 45 by 45 Christmas
from a couple years
kitchen themed wall hanging quilt. I don't have a sample of that one. I personally own the kit, but I don't. Sorry if I smacked my. That was interesting. So, you want to switch the whatchamajigger?
Oh, yeah.
So this is the We Whisk You a Merry Christmas. The Jingle All the Way.
I don't think we have
I think I have a printout of it behind We Whisk You, maybe? Behind something. Had a printout of it.
Okay.
Maybe I finally gave up and threw it away.
Yeah, we don't have the Jingle All the Way.
The Jingle All the Way is. Oops, sorry. I apologize. I turned around and bumped the camera.
Did you say Jingle All the Way or which? I said both. Jingle All the Way and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. They are doing a combination of the two of those and reprinting them. Yep. So those are coming.
Yeah, they have some super cute fabrics.
I do not have any kits for Broomhilda,
unfortunately,
and that's a Kimberbell thing.
Curated is a line of designs that they have. There are 2 right now, and there's a 3rd that's coming. The designs come on a USB. Oh, look at that!
So they are not.
I'm not crazy. I know y'all don't agree with that.
Curated design usually means it's not like it's not like all mug rugs. So it's kind of like a mashup of different designs to be used for different things.
So this is the Jingle All the Way. This was very, very long time ago. So they've completely kind of revamped how they do their stuff. So this was just a picture, a copy of the front cover. I don't have the back.
So do we need to pre-order to get fabric kits for... it's too early for us to know that answer yet.
I wouldn't even begin to know price points or anything. So until we see a little bit more, we'll put stuff out on the site, and we'll certainly talk about it on a future Tuesday.
Yes, but we don't have that answer just yet. Okay, so I think we answered all of those questions. Let's show you guys some fun new stuff that we have at the shop. We got some really cute notions and some thread kits in, and
excuse me.
Where do you want to start? The scissors.
Scissors? We
can
do scissors
let's start
first.
with scissors.
All right. I'm going to get rid of the packaging. So first of all, it comes... Evidently, we're moving. So first of all, it comes in this really pretty package. Zippered case that holds 5 wonderful Femore scissors. We've got a mini duckbill, a mini micro tip straight, the 4-inch double curve, the looks like snips, and the precision tip tweezers, and they all have that adorable color. So I've got 2 more green, which means we'll have a total of 3 green, and I have 3 blue that are on the way. This entire package with the zippered case is only $69.99, which I know you can't read that sticker on there. I'm sorry.
Did not like that sticker, did it?
No, it just showed a big white box there. So those should be here. I have the 1 green here right now. We should have the others here probably mid next week.
They are not on the website yet. We will get them on the website as soon as we possibly can, but they are here at the shop. So if you would like one, you can certainly give us a call and we can set one aside for you.
So this one cracks me up. So I just had to talk about this one.
Yes.
So I have something very similar to this, but it's a little bit smaller at home, and mine's purple. Can you imagine? So doesn't this look like a mega, like somebody that's super sick needs a whole bunch of pills, right? But it is a presser foot storage case. So you can keep your feet in there, and you could label it and have everything nice and storage. So one of my doctors, we were talking about different medications, and I was like, yeah, I really need to, back off on some of these. I have taken way too many things. And he goes, you have a maraca? And I was like, yeah, you shake this sucker, it sounds just like a maraca. I thought that was pretty funny. So now every time I see one of these, that's what I think of.
Yeah.
Yes. So, but how cool is that? And that is only $7.95. So a really nice little storage case that will keep you organized. I apologize. I am really bad at hitting the camera.
You are.
I'm super sucky at that. My bad. All right.
This looks interesting, doesn't it?
I want one of these.
Right?
Only because the packaging looks
cool. The packaging is so
I already have some of this stuff at home, but I need to get another one. So this is, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah. So we talk about Fray check all the time. This is Fray Lock. So it's E6000, and it comes in this fantastic,
really cool tube. I just want the tube.
Right? It'll hang on your slat wall, because I know you guys have all watched our videos, and now you all own slat wall in your sewing rooms or your peg wall, right? We totally get it. But this will hang on there, and it's got a really nice precision tip on here. But this is what you use when you're doing sergers. If
you serge and you need to seal a seam.
That's right. Or on the back of a shirt, like if you clipped a little too close to an embroidery thread and you're concerned it's going to unravel, this works really great. You put that on the back and problem solved. But it's just the coolest thing. And so that is $7.75 a tube.
Isn't that cool?
It is so cute. And again, we're getting these things on our website. They are not all on there as of yet, but we are adding things weekly. So if you see something here that's not on our website, you can email us or give us a call, and we would be happy to get you an order. I know it's not quite as convenient as ordering online, but we're getting there. And then these are Serger Threads. They are so sparkly. I love the colors. So this is
have to go another week without a paycheck.
Right? These are 12 weight threads. So they have they're just so glittery.
Which, for those of you who still don't get threads, that means they're fairly heavy.
Yes. So you could put these are thick enough that you could put in your sewing machine, but they really work for decorative purposes. So
that would be maybe some fun bobbin work.
Yes. Or in your serger.
Or in the serger.
Yeah, they would.
Great looper threads.
It would be so cute. I know. Yes. That would be like a great chain stitch. And then there's that pearlescent one.
There's some other.
We got a bunch of
new threads in, and then we got this super cute little Notion bag,
right?
That is a nice little storage case, but it's just adorable little.
I think we got to hold this one up on the big camera so they can see just how cute it is. So look at how adorable this is, right? And then it opens up.
And it's got storage for skizzers or whatever your tools are. And then there's a mesh zipper bag, a little pouch on the one side. Look at that print. Is that not adorable? We all need one of those.
Right?
Good thing we ordered a couple. And it's only $20, which for storage stuff is really, really reasonable. So we have had a lot of fun finding some cute little tools and some new notions, because we always have to have new stuff on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We see you guys come in, and it's no fun if everything that you see you saw the last time you were here.
That's right.
I mean, there's got to be something new, right?
Right.
So these are some new fun things that
these These are so cute.
that you can find. So there are a bunch of different little sets here. So this side, go ahead, switch real quick. Dun, 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 dun. This side looks really boring.
Yes.
But check out this side. Dun, 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 dun. These are vintage matte embroidery threads. And they come in 4 sets. And these are little quartets that have different tones. So there's pastels, there's earth tones, and they are matte. So to see something stitched, I've got this little sample here. I haven't rinsed it yet, but that is some cut work that you can see here in just a second. And there are 3 sets of each, right? 3 sets of each type.
Yes.
So there's brights, pastels, and earth tones.
I believe so.
And then there are 3 different color sets of each. So
this is one of my
this
favorites.
is mine too. So there may only be a couple choices after I shop. Just fair warning. There are just really, really sharp pieces. I have a little bit of matte thread at home, and I really, really like it. It gives a much more classic look. And it kind of looks like you are stitching with cotton threads. So you don't have that sheen. But it is.
This side of the machine is not as big.
There's no room over there, is there?
There's no room in the
So
end.
this is matte thread. You can see that it's not shiny.
Mm-hmm.
It's very flat. So it looks like that cotton.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's like
corner over there
vintage.
is also, it's very vintage. It's very classic. It just has a whole different look to it.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so, so sharp. You can blend these with the shiny thread. So it is a poly. It's not actually cotton. I just have those 2.
Yeah, I was just gonna show like so here you can see, right?
You can see the shine versus the not shine.
Versus the matte.
And it's just so much fun, and you can get such a different look just by putting in that simplistic thread, and it gives you, it's great for lace, cut work, all of those different pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But you can use it in many different ways.
Yes.
Flowers in with the matte for the leaves and the petals. There's just so many different things that are out there, and we now have some really great options. And so for that 4-pack, those spools, if I remember right, when we had them individually, they were like $7
$7
a piece or something like that, maybe even more. But
right.
that entire 4-pack is only, what was it, $12.99? So
Yep.
4 spools for $13.
Mm-hmm.
So we have 3 of each of those individual packs. Like I said, there might not be 3 by the end of the day.
$3.33
ish, something like that. So really, really great price point. If you guys would like to try something a little bit different, we've got some really nice little packs over there, so you guys can dip your toes in the water and see what you think.
That's right.
So
Holly wants to know, is there still time to pre-order Halloween Kimberbell? Mm-hmm. Yep, it's on the website. It's still in the pre-order stage.
Yeah,
So,
we're actually not expecting that until
July,
the last thing
August,
I saw was
September.
August.
Yeah.
So one place said July the last time I looked, but Kimberbell actually says August. So I'm going to guess Kimberbell has the right date. Just stab in the dark.
Yeah.
So that is the last thing that I saw.
So we still have a little bit of time. So it will stay in pre-order until it arrives. And then the day that it arrives, it will be for sale and it will not be pre-order. So you have some time.
Absolutely. Do you want to, you can use anything in a rolled hem.
Oh yeah, I read that that it is not that it was a question. So is that adorable serger thread good for a rolled hem? Definitely, you can use it for a rolled hem. It will make a very pretty rolled hem. And because it's thick, it will
fill in the spaces between the stitches.
The thing that you will have to do on that is adjust the
stitch width and see
length,
what
the
you
stitch
need.
length. Because the thread is so thick, if you're too close, it's just kind of ball up and make a mess. You just gotta find the right. It won't be quite as narrow as it would be with like a woolly.
So normally I'm like a 1-click rolled hem kind of girl. That's probably going to be a 2 or a 3-click.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would stitch out really, really pretty.
Yes.
Might have to buy some of that and play with that too. So you guys have heard us talk about.
I am so excited about this. Is so cute. I love them.
The Summer Nights Kimberbell event. This young lady over here is going to be teaching coming up on June 5th. So it's not very far away. And these are her sample stitch outs. So they are obviously multiple sizes available in these two projects. The smaller size is what you will be doing at the event, because that way more people have the ability to stitch, because everybody doesn't have the Mambo hoop size, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
we can help you with that.
We got to wibble a little bit so that everybody can get in there. So these are mug rugs or little mini placemats or whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm. It's a mug rug for a big coffee cup and a dessert plate.
It's her size coffee cup.
Yeah, that's right.
And your muffin.
And my muffin.
Whatever.
But aren't these are just so adorable.
So cute. I'm way too far over.
I mean, it's just super cute.
So it's 3 projects.
3 projects.
So that little guy right there, and
one.
then the little candy stash guy she's got in her hand there.
This one has little pockets inside.
Yep.
So
I told her, I said that is by no means big enough
this
for mine.
one
But that one might be able to hold me over.
That's right.
Yes. And then the piece de la resistance.
I know this. It came out so cute, didn't it? Look
Dun,
at this
dun,
toe
dun,
tag,
dun.
guys. It's so cute.
Always more fun together. We didn't plan that, by the way. That just happened. So that is coming up. There is still
we still have
space available if anybody would like to jump in. Again, that's June 5th. It's going to be a Saturday. It's an all day, and it is from 10 till about 4 probably. It might end slightly off, depends on how many people, how well everybody's flowing through the projects. It's really hard to guesstimate those finish times, but somewhere in that range.
I think I have videos from Kimberbell that they worked each individual part of these projects, and I will put those up on a private YouTube channel that you will have access to after, before and after the class. So that video will be up. I doubt that I will have a video of our all-day event because nobody has a file big enough for an 8-hour video. But I will get the videos. So to the people, I will send the videos out a few days before we actually have the event. I know some of you guys will be itching to get started. And again, I get it. So if you want to stitch ahead and then just chit chat for a little while, that's perfectly fine. If you don't want to stitch with us, that's okay too. You know, we're pretty lax here.
Virtuals, it's opened some doors to allow for a lot more relaxed.
That's right.
You know, it's not as big of a deal. When they're in store, we are not allowed to give it out if you're not here.
That's right.
It's very
they're very
structured
particular.
And very particular on how you have to do that. But with the virtual, it's much more
that's right.
Relaxed and whatnot. So we have a lot more freedom.
That's right.
When
so
it comes
if you
to all
just
of that.
want the kit and you don't want to hang out with me, it won't hurt my feelings. But it takes a lot more than that to hurt my feelings. But I've done my fair share of bought kits and had no intention of actually doing the virtual event.
Yeah, sometimes you just want
because
the
I want the stuff.
Yep.
There are some really cute extra designs. So if you've ever done an embroidery Kimberbell event, you know that there's like a bonus CD.
There is. So if you buy $100 worth of Kimberbell stuff from the shop, you get a bonus CD. Did you get a bonus CD in your pack?
I think it's on the stick.
Okay.
Because there wasn't one in there. The stick is in here.
Okay. So
if I do that, it's gonna knock everything off.
Oh, let's not do that.
Let's not do that.
Let's not do that. So there is that. So when I've been doing the virtual events, usually I do like that shopping a couple of days before the event and then that week after.
Yep.
Because you guys get excited once you've stitched, and you usually want to buy after the event, not before you've stitched anything.
Mm-hmm.
And I, send a message to Kimberbell. I'm closing it this day, and they've been really, really helpful and great with all of that. So is that what you're planning on doing?
Yep.
So are you doing a special or anything?
Probably.
So there might be a secret sale.
That's right.
For those people that attend, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. We have some Kimberbell stuff.
We have some stuff you might want to buy. So anyway, when you spend that money, then you would get that gift and you would have that time frame to buy.
Absolutely.
And as long as you're a attendee, whether you're physically there, as long as you're on the list, you bought the kit, you have that availability.
That's right. So it should be it'll be fun. These everybody knows I can't follow directions, so there will be some Sarah exclusives in here. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing it that way. We're gonna do it this way. Do it my way. So I mean, you know, there's always it's a surprise when I teach. I'm telling you, sometimes it's a surprise to me.
Spots back.
But I do have a couple of things that I was like, oh, we could do better than that. So I have a few things. So I'll have a little sheet in your kit that tells you the things that I did differently, just in case you're not stitching with us, and then a little prep sheet for you so that you can get prepared before we start class. I always like to have things sort of like prepped. Yeah, prepped. Like, you know, my fabric or ironed and what I need to have fused. So I'll have a little cheat sheet for you when you're ready, so that you'll be ready to stitch if you want, or just ready to chit chat. Yeah,
you know, just the fusible ironed onto this background, or you know, those kinds of things that you can prep and get ready for.
And your kit comes with stabilizers, all of the stabilizers that she told you, and then a couple extras that I'm adding, and then your threads. So and the threads. Yeah, there's
everything that you need. All you need is you and your machine, and maybe a hoop or two.
And 6 by 10, 5 by 7 and 6 by 10. So if you have a 6 by 10 hoop or larger, you will we'll make this a lot easier. So and then we have I'm like, so this I was super excited about, but then we get to teach this together.
So we've got one more Kimberville sort of event. It's not the same as this type of an event. It's actually a event that they created for brother dealers. It's called Welcome Home, and I have the kit, but unfortunately, we haven't sewn it yet.
No.
So it doesn't look as pretty. But there are some really great projects in here, and they are specific to the design center. And because we are a Baby Lock dealer as well, if you are a Baby Lock top of the line owner, if you have an IQ designer in your machine, it will also work for any of your machines as well. So that would be a Solaris 2, a Destiny 2, or a Altair,
Venture,
Valiant, Altair, or Meridian. And then in the brother line, the Luminaire 1 and 2, the Dream 1 and 2, the XP. Nope, that's one I already said. XE1, XJ1. And then the 1050,
and 1050,
the 10 needles that have those in it as well.
And so if they have an original Dream, they have to have do they need that upgrade?
You would need upgrade 1 if you have a Dream 1. You would need upgrade 1 to make that work.
Or a Destiny, you would need upgrade 1 in order for your design center and stuff to work. So this was designed to work in conjunction and to teach you how to do that. Now, we're not necessarily policing who is getting this. So if you're in Tulsa and you want these designs and you want this kit, you can buy it and we will ship it to you, and you can do it however you would like. There are going to be some instructions in here that are very specific to these types of machines, but the projects are still doable on other machines. You would just have to have an alternative. So when we're teaching this class, we are going to be teaching it on the specific design center IQ designer. So if you want to stitch along and you don't have one of those machines, you will not be able to partake in all of our video.
Correct. But, you know, it is limited. We already have purchased the kits and there are no more available. So we have 2 class dates available. I always talk off the screen. We have 2 class dates available, one in July and one in August. They are 25 attendees per. If the July one has only 20 in it, then we can bump it to 30 for the one in August, but we only have 50 total kits.
That's right.
So once we hit 50, we're done. We don't have any more. That's it.
Yes.
So we would love to have anybody from anywhere in the country. It's going to be virtual, so it doesn't matter where you're at. So if you have the correct parts that you need to take to class, please. You can sign up right on our website.
It is $129.99.
$9.95. I don't remember, one of those two. And you can sign up right on the website and hold your spot. And
our website gives you free shipping at $150. So that means if you don't want to pay shipping on this, just add a few more things to your cart and you'll be good. You're so close, right? It's like $9 for shipping if you don't. So you spend $10 more
$20 and you'll be free shipping, and you.
That's right.
Only you're spending 10 with.
That's right. Yeah. That's Quilter's math. That's how we do that.
That's absolutely good math.
And they're so show that bag. So a lot of times you get those orange bags.
So the orange bag is the 2-day bag.
Right.
The teal bag is the 1-day bag, and this is the brother bag. So this is the only way that you could get this blue bag.
That's right.
Kimberbell. So the projects that we will be doing, there are a total of 4. And it's going to be a 1-day event.
It was originally designed as a 2-day.
It was originally designed as a 2, but we figured we are smart people and we can make it work in 1. So there are 4 things. Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm planning to work on the projects coming. It's just been absolutely nuts in here.
It has. So let's
we
show
have
the little pictures.
I'll show the little pictures. She's going to pop up her phone here. Switch. So we have a Whatnot quilted basket. The quilting in here is going to be the design center wow factor of the class itself. This is called the Life is Sweet pineapple bag. This is created in multiple different steps. And then
this one was
really neat how they're doing this. Not to mention it's super cute pineapple.
Yeah.
This one is really great. You actually do the edging of this in the hoop as well. So there's multiple hoopings in this. Welcome Home pillow. This class is called Welcome Home. But the quilting in here is one of the learning aspects, as well as a few other things. And then the 4th project is this adorable zippered bag, which is a flying geese on an angle. And you'll put your initial in the bottom right-hand corner in a completely different way than I would have ever planned to do it. So when we were reading the directions, we were like, so I would have never done it that way.
Without giving away too much information on here, if you have never done a Kimberbell project, look, you've got a
picture
detailed
plus written instruction for every step of the way. So, if you want to learn how to do these things and you want to do it, but neither of the dates work for you, sign up anyways.
That's right.
Because you can call me and I'll answer the questions. Sarah can answer the questions that you have if something is bad for you. And the dates don't work out or whatever. There won't be a posted video. We don't post videos of our paid for classes because that's not fair to those of you who paid for the class to post it for free for everybody else.
Right.
But if you are on our list of paid for attendees, we're going to take care of you.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Wrong button.
Yeah.
But we're going to take care of you. So
it is found on our website. So if you go to LeabuSewingCenter.com and you follow the link that says shop with us.
Yep.
Once you get to that website, along the top, if you were on a computer and the 3 little bars, if you were on a mobile phone, it's going to have classes and events.
And it's called Welcome Home.
Yep. And it's going to be found in the Welcome Home. So if you're having trouble finding it, that's where it is.
And there's a little picture at the top that does show the projects. I think in the picture, it does show the projects. You can see them there as well. We'll have them. We'll talk about it again. I mean, July's actually we got a little ways out.
Yeah.
Again, that will include all of your thread. We've already ordered the thread kits. It will include all of the stabilizers. It literally is everything that you will need to complete those projects. If you are a machine purchaser of Leabu's, you will also get a certificate to the shop as a thank you for taking the class from us and buying your machine from us as well. So there's a little kickback, if you will,
that's right.
From that perspective too. So we're really excited. We've got actually a bunch of classes in our head that we want to put on the books.
Yeah.
It's just,
and you know what? Here's a fun fact. Just not to interrupt you, right? But if you really want to do this and you don't have one of these machines, you can buy one on our website and we will ship it to your house. The Meridian and the Altair are on there and they're ready to go. That's right.
She is not wrong.
So if you're loving us and you're someplace else, you can be a Leabu customer too.
Yes.
And then you'll get a $25 gift certificate
for that $8,000 machine.
That's Quilter's math. I saved $25.
But honey, look what I got.
You are correct. The thread kits are not on there yet.
It's
we are putting them up, but they are not on yet. If you see one that you like, you can let us know. We do expect that we will have them up probably by the end of the week. That's right. It's too much. We have too much fun being online here. Yeah. So again, we have them here. You can't locate the thread section because it's not there yet, but it's coming.
We don't have any thread on the net yet, so
yeah, but it's coming. So we are, like I said, adding stuff every single week. So we put a bunch of Baby Lock notions up this week, and we are doing that. So if you want one of those, you can send us an email, and we can, if you know which one you want, because you looked at them on maybe the Dime website. Email us and we can send you an invoice and take care of it.
Invoice and ship it to you. Not a problem
at
all. We are trying. For those of you who haven't been in the store, we have lots of little things, and we are slowly trying to get them all on the site. But there's no fairies that come in here at night and do it all for us.
No,
we keep looking for them, but they're not here.
The fairy doesn't show
the
up.
fairy does not show up. You are not wrong. So
nope.
We put new stuff in almost daily. And we're working on it. We'll get it all there, but
we do sell Kingstar too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it might be easier if you want to just give us a buzz, and we can answer all of your thread questions, get your address. We can shoot you an invoice for payment, and that might be the easiest way. 734-663-3033. We'll get you squared away.
That's right.
So, we will absolutely help you out.
Absolutely.
All right. We will see you next time. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, I think next week is the next time.
Yes.
Do we have another one?
You just never
Next
know.
Tuesday. Bye, guys. Have a good one.